How the young teacher transformed the village girls.
Sharine, a young African girl, had just completed her teacher training when the posting results were released. Her friends screamed with joy. Most were sent to well-known towns and cities. But Sharine stared at her letter in silence. Her posting read, Obra Village. She frowned. Where on earth is Obra? She wondered. No one seemed to know much about it, except that it was somewhere deep in the countryside. Determined to find out, Sharine set off one early morning to visit her new station. The journey began smoothly through bustling city streets, lined with shops, schools, and modern buildings. But as the vehicle left the city limits, the tarred roads turned to dusty tracks. The skyline of glass and concrete gave way to endless stretches of green fields, scattered huts, and distant hills. Her heart began to sink. The more the bus moved, the quieter it got, as if civilization itself was fading behind her. When she finally arrived in Obra, Sharine was met with a reality she never imagined. Barefooted children ran across the dusty compound. Most of the houses were made of laterite clay with grass roofs. There was no sign of electricity. Goats and chickens wandered freely among the villagers. The elders received her warmly, yet the scenes around her only deepened her dismay. The school had just 3 dilapidated classrooms with cracked walls and a few worn-out wooden chairs. 2 teachers handled all subjects for every class. And her assigned accommodation? A tiny room with no washroom or kitchen. Cooking, bathing, and other chores were done outside in the open air. She smiled politely, but inside she felt broken. How am I going to survive here? She thought. I'll apply for reposting the moment I get back to the city. Back at her city home that evening, she shared her frustration with her parents. They were equally worried. Leaving their only daughter in such a deprived place seemed unthinkable. But that night, as Sharine lay alone in her bed, one thought wouldn't leave her mind. She remembered the faces of the young girls she saw, many already pregnant or caring for babies when they should be in school. Their laughter carried a certain pain, the pain of lost dreams. A quiet voice within her whispered, what if I can change that? What if I can help them discover their worth? That was the turning point. With renewed conviction, Sharine decided to go back, not just as a teacher, but as a vessel of change. Her parents, though hesitant, finally supported her mission. She gathered what she could, solar-powered lights and gadgets, learning materials, and inspirational photos of successful young women who had risen through education. When she returned to Obra, the villagers welcomed her like family. With the help of the local chief and elders, she launched a simple initiative, the Girl Child Club. Every evening after school, the girls would gather under a large mango tree, where Sharine shared lessons on self-worth, hygiene, dreams, and education. On the last Saturday of each month, she organized practical skill sessions with help from a girl-focused NGO she had contacted. The NGO later donated books, helped renovate classrooms, and provided teaching aids. Gradually, a silent revolution began. The girls started to believe in themselves. Those still in school studied harder, dreaming of brighter futures. The ones who had dropped out began to see that life wasn't over. Some returned to class, others took up tailoring, baking, or bead making. Obra was changing, slowly but beautifully. When the district education director paid a surprise visit, he was astonished by the transformation. His report reached the regional office, and soon, Obra received new classrooms, teacher quarters, and even a junior high school the first in the area. The change didn't stop there. For the first time, Obra Village witnessed its own girls graduating from junior high school. Some continued to senior high schools in the cities. Others started small businesses using their vocational skills, all inspired by the vision of one woman who refused to give up. Years later, during a village celebration, one of her former students, now a young nurse, took the microphone and said tearfully, "If Madame Sharine hadn't come to Obra, I would have been married off at 14. But because she believed in us, we now believe in ourselves." Sharine stood quietly, her eyes glistening with tears. The same village that once looked like the end of her dreams had now become the birthplace of many. Sometimes life sends us where we don't want to go, not to punish us, but to reveal our purpose. Sharine's story reminds us that comfort doesn't create change, courage does. When we decide to serve others beyond our convenience, we not only transform lives, we also discover who we truly are. Be the light, no matter how dark the place you're sent to may seem.